And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On this week's episode of the Pop Culture Cosmos, we look at the brand new video games coming to the marketplace this year, the ones we think that will come out, and the ones we think might slip into next year. So go ahead and check it out today on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, as well, of course, don't forget to join us for our next Inside Sports Fantasy Football, where we will cover the Super Bowl, our picks, our thoughts, and everything else all in between. It'll be coming up sometime next week, so check it out today on Inside Sports Fantasy Football, wherever you get your podcasts, and I'll have it available for members first right here on the Lakers Fast Break channel. Of course, also as well, John Costa was great part of what we're doing. He is Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner. Lakers Live, our new channels. Welcome to those viewers out there to the Lakers Live channels on all the different outlets. Again, also as well, of course, truly appreciate you joining us. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting Joe here and all the rest of the game, because I know they have much to say on a very bad night for the Lakers. As the Lakers came into tonight on the second game of a back-to-back, looking to get a two-game sweep over some really bad teams. First game was good in Charlotte, but unfortunately today did not materialize, as the Lakers, leading late in the first quarter, decided to make some changes because the availability of some others who were not available, like Gabe Vincent. So they tried to bring in Bronny James, and it just went downhill from there. Not saying he was the full reason why for everything, but my gosh, timing is everything. And the timing got really bad for the Lakers as soon as he came into the game. They quickly lost the lead at the end of the quarter. It was tied. And then in the second quarter, it went all downhill from there as they got outscored 48-32, as the Lakers forgot how to play defense. On top of that, Anthony Davis went out of the game with an oblique injury. He did not return. So we'll see what happens as far as his status going forward. Maybe he'll sit out for the game against Washington. We'll have to wait and see on Thursday. LA had not won a game in Philly since 2017. And you know what? The streak unfortunately continues as the Lakers laid an egg in Philadelphia, 118-104. And here today to go ahead and talk about today's game. Starting off, seeing if we can get everybody in here. First man up, first man indeed is here. It is, of course, Zachary Roblino of Lakers Live and all the Lakers Live channels. Great to have you here. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Looking forward to getting everybody in here to go ahead and be able to talk, because I can't stay long myself personally. Your thoughts, though, Zachary, on what went wrong with today's game? Because, again, Lakers got the early lead. Things seem to be okay, but it all went downhill from there.
Before we start, I just wanted to say that I'm still in your account, so should I log out and then join again?
You're fine where it is. Just stay where you're at. You're fine. But next time you just log in as yourself and you're good. So yeah, go ahead, my friend.
I'm still in your account. I just wasn't sure if you need me to log out or
no,
whatever.
you're good, man. Go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, it was a sad loss tonight. Not much of an explanation from me to start without looking at the box score fully. I'm about to in a couple minutes, but like you said, Bronny is not like the only problem that we lost. I don't think we should not have played him in that first quarter. If we were up by like 15, I could see like us putting him in like the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, not like 8 minutes left in the first quarter when it's like a 6-point game. So that's just my opinion. Bad coaching tonight, and Anthony Davis left the game, so that could be a little part of it. And Jackson Hayes got in foul trouble. So overall, it was a disappointing game, and yeah, that's all I have to say so far. I'll probably look at the box score in a couple minutes, and I'll probably have more of an explanation of what I think went wrong versus what went right and all that.
Once again, it is the Lakers losing 118-104. The Lakers are now 26-19 on the season. Right now, they do stay, I think, in the fifth place in the Western Conference. But with that, they do lose some ground to the teams at second, third, and fourth. It's something we talked about, and I do want to mention to you, Zach, you might want to go ahead and get out, back out, and then log in as yourself because your microphone is kind of distorted. Just wanted to mention that to you, so I can go ahead.
Okay.
I'll talk to the crew there. So while he's doing that, I'll mention again the Lakers are now again 126 and 19 on the season. They are still in fifth place. I had talked about before. Let me go ahead and get you off screen there, so you can go ahead and do what you need to do. I had talked about before where the team just really, really, absolutely needed to go ahead and go 4-2 on this road trip so they could gain some ground in the Western Conference. And up until today, they had done just that. But today, obviously, this was a very stinging loss when you don't have Joel Embiid or Paul George in the lineup. I had, as I had said, and I intimated, I knew that this was going to allow Tyrese Maxey to go off. And he certainly did because the Lakers had no answer for quick guard. Not many in the league do, but when he's thanks for still staying with me. That was Zach hitting the wrong button right there, so I apologize for that. But again, as I was saying, the Lakers unfortunately were not able to get it done tonight. 118 to 104. You know what? I'm just going to keep you on like this, Zach. Don't touch anything.
Okay.
Don't touch anything unless it's the mute button. Because you already got our show gone wacko so far. So I'll just say this. I'll keep you on for the rest of the interim. Again, the Lakers just could not find any rhythm tonight at all. And then AD getting hurt on top of it with an oblique strain is not exactly the best news to hear. But that happened all seemingly almost at the same time. As soon as AD got hurt in the first quarter, the Lakers just tried to do some matchups, tried to bring in some new players with Gabe Vincent out there. They tried some new combinations. Koloko coming out there for an extended bit. Bronny James coming out there for a little bit as well. Dalton Connect not coming in the first quarter, I think also hurt the team to give them some offensive punch. But again, the second quarter, the defense was absolutely abysmal by everyone who participated in that second quarter. You could see without AD in the lineup, it really affected the Lakers. And absolutely, anybody out there who's talking about a need for the Lakers for a big, it absolutely showcased themselves today. What happens when you just don't have a defensive presence in there beyond Anthony Davis? Go ahead, Zach. You could talk.
I just wanted to apologize, like, for any inconvenience and all that.
No worries, man. No worries. Let's keep it rolling, my friend. Your thoughts on the abysmal second quarter for defense on there?
How many points did they score in the second quarter? Was it
They
40?
scored 48.
Yeah, that I have not seen of my years of watching basketball, unless you watch like the
Oh,
Pistons.
I've seen more than my share of 45 plus by NBA teams, and the Lakers have given up that before. Not too many times, but still, it's never pleasant when you give up almost 50 points in a quarter.
Right, and when if teams do that, in my opinion, it probably will go like downhill from there. Like when they scored that many points and I saw the score at halftime, I was like, I have a good feeling like we could come. One sec.
Okay. Again, it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Zach, are you with me?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just
Zach.
had to cough for a quick sec.
Oh no, I bet rather you do that than and mute than not. Go ahead, my friend. Continue.
Anyway, I looked at the halftime score and I was like, I have a good feeling we might come back. Like if Anthony Davis comes back, we know how to play defense. We know how to stop Tyrese Maxey. But I had like also And deep down, as a Lakers fan, even though I always say it's not over until it's over, which it's not, I was like, this game is looking like it's gonna be over before like the fourth quarter even starts, unless we go on a crazy run. Anthony Davis comes back, and we know how to play defense. So, not a big fan of our defense tonight, but just got to bounce back Thursday against Washington and keep on moving forward, put this game behind us, and focus on the positives.
Aussie says it himself. Oh, Gerald, how many more times do we have to clarify this? You don't defend, you can't compete. And the Lakers, with one of the statistically on the season, 10 worst defenses in the league. I've seen them as high as 28th in defense at times, as low as I think 21st, 22nd, depending on which barometer you use or which site you use. It's so funny because they all variate. The Lakers just, in any other layman's terms, just do not have a good defense. And their defenders tonight, Max Christie, DFS, absolutely could not stop anyone tonight. They're guys that they actually get in there supposed to defend. Even Cam Reddish got around in the second half and couldn't do anything. I mean, I understand we beat up Austin Reeves. We beat up LeBron James, and we beat up also as well Dalton Connect for their bad defense. It is warranted, and we do beat that drum a lot. I will not kid you wrong. Yes, they played terrible themselves on defense tonight, but when your top defenders can't make up for the loss, even with AD out of the ball game, can't make up for the loss on the perimeter, it really, really makes it so much harder for you to compete in this game, even with, of course, Embiid and Paul George out of the lineup tonight.
Right. And also, quick question: how do I hide the chat so when I'm full screen I can see you and I?
As far as hiding the chat, you're just going to have to. There's actually a bar. It should be on your left hand side. You can actually. I'm not sure if you can pull it over or not, but I think you or you could go ahead and there's an expanding screen option on the bottom there. So go ahead and get you on that. But yeah, let's get back to the chat right now. Again, it is the Lakers, of course, losing 118 to 104. They're now 2-1 and on the road trip. We had talked before how 4-2 was necessary for them to go ahead and be able to as far as succeed on this road trip. A lot of people had pointed out that they were 5-1, 6-0. Sorry, guys, no olives for Joe and I on this road trip. So, you know what? It is what it is. Natalia says LeBron, empty calorie stats, 8 turnovers, 0 defense. Absolutely not a good game by him tonight. Not going to defend it at all. Obviously, you got to step it up when AD is not in there. I understand it was a back-to-back. He did get 31, but the 8 turnovers and 9 assists, that's not a good assist-to-turnover ratio. A lot had to be placed on him once AD went out of the game. And Austin had to step it up and unfortunately didn't. He had just oh, by the way, 13-8 for him. He did not step it up. Rui back in the starting lineup tonight for DFS to move it, because he was out because of injury. He was only gave you a paltry 13. DFS was 1 of 6, so obviously him coming off the bench did not work tonight. Plus he got into foul trouble. Jackson Hayes, again, a defensive enigma. 4 fouls, 4 points for him. Christian Coloco gave you 4 points. Just absolutely nothing as soon as Anthony Davis comes out. Again, bearing the need, Zachary, and I guess he's going to go ahead and work on some things. Yes, bearing the need for a big man out there. So I know John is trying to come on. He's having issues with his computer. Joe is on the way as well. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching and listening. Truly appreciate you joining us. Rodell says Maxey got it going when Bronny came in. AD not protecting the rim gave Maxey the basket, and the defenders shade to the baseline, but that doesn't work. You know what, Rodell? Absolutely. I mean, you got to correlate one with the other. The Lakers had a 6-point lead when Bronny came into the game, and by the end of the quarter, they did not. And it all went downhill from there. So, Zach, seeing how the Lakers are so inept as far as on the inside without AD, what are the options for the Lakers at this point?
Sign a shot blocker or center, like I have stated before, because like tonight, like I was mentioning on playback, the reason Jackson Hayes probably did not help connect was because he was in foul trouble. Like, let's say AD gets in foul trouble, Hayes gets in foul trouble. Who's our third center? Is it Koloko? Is that how you say his last name? Or who is our
Yes, Christian
third?
Koloko. Yes.
So let's say like all three of them get like into foul trouble. Now what are you gonna do? Are you gonna put LeBron at the center spot? Are you gonna put a point guard at the center spot? Like, what are you gonna do if all three of them get into foul trouble? If you don't have like another center to like step in and be a shot blocker, like Vucevic, who else? Miles Turner, and all those the ones that like we as Lakers fans been like looking at like for a long time to help with AD, a shot blocker or a rim protector, whatever you want to basically call it.
Once again, it is the Lakers losing 118 to 104. So with that, again, many problems and questions tonight. Natalia says, does JJ realize elite players like Maxey find it disrespectful when you put Bronny on them? You would think because he played in the league and not too long ago, Natalia. Excellent question there. He just didn't get it. He just didn't get it at all, Natalia, because you saw it as soon as he got Bronny on him. I've got a rookie on me. I'm going to take him to the hole, or I'm going to go ahead and take him to my sweet spot. You could tell he loved going to his right because every time he took Bronny, he took him to his right, and Bronny never adjusted to that. Never put it in his head to adjust and make and force him back into the middle, right towards the defense. But again, that's something where he knew Maxey had a rookie on him and he was going to take full advantage of it. And again, it's not the sole reason at all by any stretch of the imagination for the Lakers losing, but it did start that process. And here today to discuss that is a good man indeed. He is, of course, the guy behind Oxide T47 at LakersBall.com. He was a great part of our chat on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, usually clowning me, but it's okay. By the way, the deviled egg sandwich is good. And then also as well, of course, he is all you got to support him at Symblades with a Y.com, and his game, the game that he has. COREUPT on Steam. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here. This is a game where if you're a good team, Joe, if you're a winning team, if you're a team destined for good things in the postseason, you get that double. You go and you defeat a Charlotte and you knock out Philadelphia when they've got two of their best guys injured. This is a game, even when you have AD out of the game, you got to finish off. And I think it just shows a lot of the problems that the Lakers still have.
Problems. Yeah, problems. I don't know if they're problems more so than just disease. We've explained this so many times, it gets redundant at this point. You have a subpar philosophy. You have really no identity on. You have absolutely no identity on any kind of offense, any kind of defense. Your lead guy, LeBron James, continues to make ill-advised choices during a game, whether they're winning or whether they're losing. AD played really well in terms of his thing. Not finishing tonight really hurt. They really needed him, and they just look like quitters. I don't really know at this point what to call it. It's not an off game because I know that's some of the excuses out there, but if you're going to, yes, Joe Rogan's father, I do have a terrible towel, of course. You know who plays a zone? I'll tell you who plays a zone. There's two reasons why you play a zone. Number one, for the right reasons, and I put air quotes in that, you play a zone when you know that the team that you're playing against is too stupid to bust it. The other one is when you have no choice and you suck. Philly looked like they didn't suck tonight. So I think you all know what the answer is there now at this point. And can somebody explain to me, please? I'm still in complete bewilderment at this point. Who the hell told J.J. Redick to put in Bronny James in the first quarter?
That's what I was about to say. Like, who did that? Like, who suggested let's put him in like 6 minutes left in the first when you're up six? Like I was telling Gerald, wait till you're up like 15 to 20 in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to put him in, not like in the first quarter.
So is anybody going to ask him that? Anybody watch the press conference? It's really hard for me to watch the press conferences because we're doing a show. But did anybody ask? Is anybody going to ask, or are they worried about their press passes to ask? That was, this is not hyperbole. That was one of the worst coaching decisions I've seen in a long time. And we've had to watch Darvin Ham, Luke Walton, Mike Brown, Rudy Tomjanovich in the last 25 years coach the Lakers. What the hell was he thinking? Why the hell is that guy on the roster? And you want to go deep into this. These guys are quitters. And what the hell happened to Vando? What the fuck? He's got healthy all of a sudden. He's not playing tonight. I didn't even know until tip-off. Anybody know why he didn't play? What happened? What are they managing his minutes? Motherfucker hasn't played in a year. What is he managing? I'll tell you, JY, every time when you're not focused, this team isn't focused. They're not focused. They've never been focused. There's no leadership on this team to get you focused when there's a little bit of adversity. They hit a little bit of adversity and they quit. They looked like they didn't know how to play basketball tonight. Why? Sean, why? Why does this team look like they don't know how to play basketball when shit hits the fan?
By the way, Joe, I think I know what you were seeing the other day. I think you saw the reflection of my light bulb. That was the light in the pod. Now, I'm going to say a few things. I'm going to use some bad words.
You're just going to have to deal with it. The floor is yours.
These fucking like Joe, you were wondering when it was going to happen, and this giant flaming fucking turd popped up in Philadelphia, and we ate it tonight. I mean, they fed it to us over and over again. And look, what fucks me up is that, I understand as an athlete, you put your body on the line for your living, and sometimes that means you're injured. Fair. What's not fair is that you decide you're only going to give fucking 70% of your total effort when 100% is always required, because this is a professional sport. And you decide when it was 35-29 that you're going to put Bronny fucking James into the game. And not only were you putting him into the game, you were asking him to check Tyrese Maxey. Arguably, it's not set in stone. A lot of people would say De'Aaron Fox. Probably the fastest dude this side of the Mississippi. So what are you doing putting baby face, green behind the gills, subpar, G League player on Tyrese Maxey.
So here's what happened, and this is part of the. I honestly I don't know what to say right now. How is someone who's never played in the NBA, never played in college, sitting at home watching this, going to be able to analyze something that these guys are getting paid to analyze and figure out? How are we gonna explain this with a straight face?
Like
Just
Maxey.
keep it simple. Keep it simple. Here, why are you playing Bronny James in the first quarter? Why? Explain that. Explain that to me. I don't give a shit if you're Bill Russell, Kareem, Magic. I want to know why. Why are you playing him? For what? They scored 48 points in the second quarter. 48. Why? I don't care. LeBron, I don't care how great you are. That does not make any sense. What is going on? Who's making these decisions? This is bad. This is really bad. Like, why? My brain shut down. That's why I was talking shit pretty much the entire time. I mean, it's entertainment too, but seriously, it was really mind-boggling to me. What the hell was going on in this? Nick Nurse absolutely bent JJ over tonight, and JJ just took it. Why? I want to know why. Who's going to ask this guy why he put that guy in there? Who's going to sacrifice their media pass to go, what were you thinking putting Bronny James in an NBA game in a place that the Lakers have sucked ass in for the last 5 years? And not only that, they didn't have two of their best players on the team.
You made like B plus basketball players look like savants tonight. Like if people think that Max Christie doesn't belong in the NBA, there's no reason fucking Ricky Council IV should be in the NBA either. But the Lakers made Ricky Council IV look like Jamal Mashburn tonight. Because he was getting whatever he wanted inside, and then he decided he was going to get whatever he wanted outside. And it was just, you know what it was, Joe? It was just, it was a fire hose to the face. That's what it was. A huge fire hose to the fucking face.
I'm going to get to you in a second here, Zach. I got to say one more thing. Seriously, I want everyone that's in here. We have over 70 people in here, at least on YouTube and Facebook and all those places. I want you to really absorb the question I have right now. Really. The word nepotism gets thrown around, okay? And I want you guys to understand what that word means, okay? Nepotism is a real thing, and I understand that. This is a different business. This is not an office job. This is not a corporate tire company, okay? This is professional sports, okay? If you have a full roster of 15 guys per team at a time, you have 450 of the most unique human beings on the planet playing in the number one league. Number one league. Anybody who says it's not the world champion when they win in the NBA is a fucking moron. Yes, I'm talking of Greg Popovich, okay? This is the number one league where only 450 players can play at a time. There's 8 billion people on this planet, only 450. And then you want to come say, Joe, get off your armchair quarterback shit, and then you produce fucking Bronny James on the court? You think that we're fucking stupid? We don't know the difference between an NBA player and a fucking joke? That sets the stage, guys. It sets the stage. I'm going to give you an analogy. If you're hiring someone to be a professional in your company and he walks in with a t-shirt and flip-flops and this guy's supposed to conduct business selling real estate, what would you think? If it's a surf shop, sure. If he's selling flowers in a corner somewhere in a store at a mall, sure. What are you doing? What was this? Who's going to ask him this question? Somebody tell me who I can contact so I can go, can you ask this asshole what the fuck he was thinking? What the hell was that? That set the stage. As soon as that fucker came in, they went after him and they were destroying him the moment he was there. Why? I want to know a logical reason why. So I'm going to ask you this, Zach. If I asked you this question and you're JJ Redick,
Okay.
try your best to think of something to get your ass out of this question. Because I kind of know what JJ would do. I want to see what you would do as JJ. I'm curious. Tell me, JJ Redick, why did you check in Bronny James in the first quarter of a game that was relatively tight around that time?
That's a good question. Probably to make like the NBA happy, make the father-son duo like enjoyable because it only has never happened before. And I thought like he was gonna be able to do good on Tyrese Maxey, but it looks like I was wrong. And let's move on to the next question. Let's tell me what he's gonna answer with.
Wow. Sean? Wow. I'm going to retort to that, but I want to hear yours too. Sean? I'm sorry, JJ Redick. Why did you sub in Bronny James in the first?
I think he would say something along the lines of, throughout the course of the first quarter, I thought the game plan was going really well, and then some element changed, and I wanted to introduce Bronny into that lineup and see whether or not they could try and execute the offense. Some bullshit answer like that.
Okay, guys.
Some meandering. It sounds smart, but it's just derivative drivel, Joe. He's good at that, though.
Okay. I'm going to do this. I'm going AWOL here. Let's say I got lucky and I got a media pass tonight, and I'm just going to say, fuck it. I'm going to sacrifice it. All right. So, Coach, that was a terrible decision. Was that your decision to put him in? Or was it LeBron James's decision? Is LeBron coaching this team? Hold on. That's what would have happened in the press conference, right?
Joe, did you want to hear something wild? You want to hear something wild about that? What you just said?
I do want to hear something wild. I really do.
Okay, here's something wild. So through 45 games, the Lakers are 26-19. JJ Redick has been the head coach of the Lakers for 45 games so far. Him and LeBron had less than 10 podcasts together, Joe, before JJ Redick was hired as the Lakers coach. He's coached LeBron James more games than he had podcasts with him.
That's intriguing. Yeah, I don't have an answer to that one, but I will have an answer to this.
Well,
Folks, I want this to be very clear to our people. I am here. Other than I'm here because there are people on this show. Obviously, you, Gerald, but the audience decides ultimately if our show is viable. And I want you all to listen to this, especially for those of you who have been here, who are here for the first time. I want you guys to be very, very clear on this, okay? It doesn't matter where I'm from, who I am, whether I play in the NBA or not. I am not a person who just blabbers about shit. I'm calculated. There are emotions that are maybe a little bit higher than that at times. Fine, sometimes that's the volume it's at. But seriously, I want you guys to really ask yourselves, in life, at least for me, sometimes it's a single moment that will describe the beginning of something.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight, understand this and use it in your life. I'm not trying to be a TED Talk guy here, but seriously, because this is confirming everything we've said for how long now.
No. You know what, Joe? You got a deep voice. You're more like a Tony Robbins than a TED Talk.
Just smaller head. I want you guys to understand that no one loves the Lakers more than us. Okay, and these kiss ass. I was watching, and it was absolutely pathetic. I was watching Geeter, I was watching Worthy, and Bresnahan laughing like it was nothing. And they're running those kind of shows where they can do that, right? So this is a different show, and I want everyone to understand that all our problems since the draft is always it's going to be justified here at some point, and these are the type of games that prove it. They can win the next game in Washington. Hell, they might even be able to steal a game in New York. But guys, this is who they are at the heart of things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
when they're not taught to fight through shit, they're weak-minded. They're not talented enough. The coach is a puppet. If you don't believe me, watch tonight's game. No coach, no professional team in their right mind would ever do this. It is run by a bunch of clowns. And it's an insult to clowns because there's a lot of good people out there that do birthday parties and shows. Probably shouldn't call them a clown. Just call them morons at this point.
Except for the one in Uncle Buck. He deserved what he got.
Get in your mouse. God rest John Candy. My God, we still miss him 30 years later, man. Jeez. Yeah, it's just I don't think it's just you're just it's like this all the time with this team. You even in their wins, you see yesterday the way they won in Charlotte. They open up that game with a 20-point lead, and then they just take a giant shit on themselves, and they make a bunch of whack-ass players in Charlotte look like stars. Another team that had none of their stars there. Richards was traded. Brandon was out for the year, and LaMelo got bounced in the first quarter from injury. And they still sucked ass, and you have LeBron and AD still playing in that game. And AD had an all-timer. What are these guys doing? Like, what exactly is JJ? Look, if they're not listening to JJ, what is it now? Okay, they're not listening to JJ. They're not going to listen to Darvin Ham. They didn't listen to Frank Vogel before he got fired. So who is it? Whose fault is it now? Who? 8 turnovers by LeBron James. Now what? What's he doing? I don't know what else to say. It's the same damn thing I keep saying when you see them hit the wall. Every time they hit the wall, every time it's at the end of the fourth quarter, you see the same stupid shit. Oh, that's nice to know. Thanks, Trevor Lane, you fucking idiot. That's the last thing I needed to know. What's their record now? 1-8?
Mhm.
You sell it, those jerseys selling well, assholes? Is that why?
It's wild. This could be 17 games they played in this.
So what? They put that asshole in there?
I'm sorry. I just want to get this on the record for LFB. I gotta disagree with Gerald. I think the City Edition jerseys are horrible. I think they're the worst jerseys in Laker history. I just think having the black on top of the purple is awful. And it's just bad on the eyes. It's the worst Lakers jersey I've ever seen, and they should stop playing in them. Burn them. Go back to the classics.
Purple on the road, gold at home, white
Sunday
on Sunday.
whites.
It's
Yes.
so
Simple.
These are iconic statements. What did I say about the flip-flops and the t-shirts?
Mhm.
Did you see the press conference for Roki Sasaki, the Dodgers?
I did.
Okay. Did you see how everybody walked out with a suit?
Yes.
Everybody there looks like everybody looks like they just got out of bed.
It's just yeah.
No pride, no guts. How do you? And the thing is, if these guys were playing their ass off, it'd be a different story. But they're not,
because I wouldn't be as pissed off as I fucking am.
And if they were playing their ass off, they wouldn't have gotten their ass kicked like this. That's the other part.
No.
So, Zach, are you going to buy that Lake Show piece of shit jersey?
No, but I have to mention two things. One, is that supposed to be our City Connect jerseys? Like for the Rockies, it's green and white. Dodgers, I think it's what is the Dodgers City Connect?
It's like a white, it's like a white jersey with some weird font on it.
Is that what our Lakers jersey that we wore tonight? Is that what
the weirdest one is the all blue? The weird ones are the all blue.
Oh,
Dodger.
the blue pants and the blue jersey.
I'm like, the blue looks cool, but you got to put the white pants on with that for it to work. The blue on the blue, it looks like sweats. They look like sweats.
Yeah. But is that supposed to be our City Connect jersey?
Look, none of those connect to the city. Okay, the only thing that connected the city is the golden armor, and those beautiful gray or white Dodger jerseys. However, the thing is, by the way, the Lake Show is the '90s team before Shaq and Kobe and after Magic. That was the Lake Show. That was what they called the Lake Show. That little group between 1992 and 95, 96. And do you want me to pull this up, Sean? Are you looking at the schedule?
Yeah, we have the schedule open. And also, can I say my second thing? Or
go ahead. I couldn't tell who opened it up.
And my second thing, when you were mentioning, like, who are we going to blame? Like, what about Rob and Jeannie? Like, is it their idea? Like Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss, like to put Bronny James in with like 6 minutes left in the first quarter, because it was either Redick, them, or LeBron. It's either like those 4 people. He did not say, "Coach, I want to go in and get burned by Maxey." He did not say that. It was probably Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, LeBron, or Redick.
So let's talk about that for a second. I'm going to answer. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. I missed it here real quick. I didn't want to cover up the screen. Someone had asked if I would collab with what's his name? I forgot his name. We just talked about him.
We talked a lot.
Trevor Lane.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there we go. Freedom Angel. When I collab with Trevor Lane will never have me on his show. Folks, I'm hard on everyone, guys. Everyone in my life. Now, the only reason why my relationships are ironclad is because people who know me know I only do it when it matters. I am not one of those guys that comes home and takes shit out on my family or takes shit out on my friends. My shit is calculated, guys. If I'm pissed off about good shit. And the older I got, the better I got at it. If you don't fuck up, you'll never hear from me. You will never hear from me. I've had 20 and 25-year relationships with my best friends. Not one fight. One. Not even an argument. It just happens that way. Okay? So I know you all know me through here, but in a lot of ways, it is me. This is who I am. Okay. The Trevor Lanes, these guys are company men. I don't work well with company men. Now, certain people in my life are company men, but I'm not going to ever go to their setting and be who I am. Even my good friends know when to invite me in places, not because they're ashamed of me, because I don't want to go there. And they respect that. I am not going to mesh with the status quo. And I'm not a nonconformist. I'm not. But if you start talking stupid, at some point, something's going to happen. Don't talk stupid. What's stupid? Don't lie. Don't be full of shit. And stop insulting my intelligence. And number one, don't waste my motherfucking time. That right there is the number 1, 2, and 3 pet peeve I have. Don't waste my fucking time. Tonight, putting in that fucking guy that doesn't belong even in the NCAA, in an NBA game, in a close game, in the first quarter, you put a death sentence on tonight's game just from that.
And Trevor Lane also is a completely different person than us three, Gerald, John, Mark. He dives into like different stuff that we don't, and some of it I agree with, and some I'm like, what in the world are you talking about?
I am 100% sure that guys like Sean Grice, guys like Gerald Glassford, maybe I don't know you that well yet, Zach. You guys can work in those environments because you guys probably have the patience, you have the respect. I'm not saying I'd be disrespectful. I'm just saying that's just kind of who you guys are. But again, there's certain settings that just won't work for certain people, and that just depends on the guy or the woman. So the moral of the story tonight is I care about my people here, and I care about my people that are watching, because you guys are going to carry all this. As this thing gets bigger and bigger, you're going to be my backup in the end. You're going to be my reference, okay? And this is something that I want to make very clear, that I want to know the answer to these questions, and I don't want to hear about some BS about how I don't know what's going on in basketball. Because if you're going to sit there and waste my fucking time and tell me I don't know basketball because I didn't play in the NBA, or I haven't been around the NBA, or I don't have a mammy in the NBA or a daddy in the NBA, I'm going to ask you the next question. I'll be like, what were you thinking putting Bronny James, a fucking scrub, in college in an NBA game when the game was competitive? What are you going to answer to me? Are you going to lie to me and say, oh, no, we wanted him for his defense? Are you fucking kidding me? Really? What'd you want him for? His three-point shooting? What'd you want him for? His passing? Oh, wait, he deflects a ball once every 5 days somewhere. Sean, be honest. If we got put into an NBA game, do you think you could somehow touch a basketball at some point, somewhere, every 5th game? I think I could.
Yeah, we certainly tried, Joe.
Okay. It's just not. I'm my like drafting.
I can only retort with this. and shout out to my uncle Bob, who's hearing impaired, so I know a little sign language. To what Joe's rant and JJ Redick, I retort, and the Lakers with their logic, I retort with this. That means eat shit in sign language.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not.
Eat shit.
This isn't a January game where they're tired and they just can't move.
This was a bluff by 29 other teams. Every other team bluffed about taking a chance on this kid. And he's a kid, but he doesn't belong in the pros. Some kids mature faster than others. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins was almost a full-ass grown man when he got drafted. You could say the same thing about Ron Artest. They're different physical levels of maturation, Joe. LeBron, as another example. That being said, when you don't have that, when you're average and everything else is average, your shooting is average, your passing is average, your rebounding is average. It's great you've got a lot of hustle, you know. A lot of guys have a lot of hustle. And yeah, it is.
It's an embarrassment, and this organization should be beyond ashamed of themselves. And there's no consequence. There's no one.
Well, there is a consequence in that this hurts the Lakers more than it hurts Bronny James. Bronny James will be fine.
Will it hurt the Lakers?
Yeah.
How?
Reputationally.
So they might just say, well, we had a bad reputation when Jim Dickweed was running shit, but then LeBron still came, right? But what did it take for LeBron to come to LA?
Magic Johnson.
And Magic's not there. So now what? Are you think you can take another chance at doing that? Remember, folks, there's Stone yesterday said something about, we were talking about talent and players. Brook Lopez being the guy. He said something that stopped me in my tracks, because that's something I usually say. There's a rule, but there's always an exception. But the exception is rare. So Brook Lopez was that guy that developed certain skill sets way late in his career that debunked, if that's a word, conventional intelligence of basketball. Like, how the hell did this guy go from zero defense to what he ended up doing? And how the hell did he go from not being able to score from the outside to all of a sudden being one of the best? So that's the outlier, is the word he said. LeBron coming when he did was an outlier. If you think that anybody else is going to come to LA, and by the way, I have a theory on why he came to LA, Sean. You know what I think? I think his crew said, LeBron, you're going to want to come to LA. Why? Because we're going to be able to control shit here. These guys are puppets. We can go like this. We can ventriloquist these assholes. Imagine our crew starting out where they started out. Now we run LA. LeBron is already an owner. People don't even know it. They're playing his son like it's a fucking East-West shrine game for the JV team on the side when they're playing, like on the sides. Really? This is what it's come to? The LA Lakers, the most popular team, the most popular basketball team on the planet, the second most popular team in America behind the Yankees. How did this happen? How? I
just Joe, you know something? Like Zach was kind of saying and using different words, but it was a novel. It's not. It's a novelty, right? To have the James son father combo. That being said, there, like you said, Joe, there's something to be said about organizational respect and structure, and again, there was nobody else who took him. There were plenty of teams who had a chance to take him before the Lakers did, and the Lakers, I think they got, like you said, Joe. I don't know how much of that is true, but a lot of it makes sense. Let's put it that way. About LeBron being able to control the turnstile, so to speak.
So
And unfortunately, some look, Joe. I'm not you know this about me. I'm not a casual person. It's not as if I listened to Slayer that one summer and carved their name in blood on my arm. But yeah, no, now I'm really into Lou Bega and Bruno Mars. Yeah, no, it's you have a passion for something and you stick with it. So I got to stick through this garbage dump. And that's what it feels like. It feels like that scene from Nothing But Trouble with Chevy Chase and John Candy, where I'm driving through. What was the name of that town, Joe?
Valkenvania.
Yeah, Valkenvania. Yeah,
Great
and
movie, by the way.
yeah,
It was panned because it was too
yeah. And
creepy.
I feel like I'm gonna run into Little Devil. That's what it feels like. It feels like a dump truck ride through hell from a love of basketball. But you gotta take the good with the bad.
So
that's before Magna Carta. That's right, young lady.
I got a quick question.
Go ahead.
So earlier you were
want some ants on a log, Joe?
Hawaiian punch? Sorry, go ahead, Zach.
Sharing your screen and showing the schedule. Were you going to show the upcoming schedule? Is that what you were going to show, or what?
I don't know what the hell that was.
Because we showed the Trevor Lane tweet, and then you also had the schedule up.
Did you put that up, or did Sean put it up? There we go. Here,
I put it up.
Okay, good. Let's put it up. Let's hear. So they're playing Washington on Thursday. What are the chances of AD coming back? And then they got to play the Knicks in Madison Square Garden on Saturday, and usually they suck ass on Saturday.
Can you beat Washington without AD?
I don't know.
And Seth, oh God.
I don't know. I really don't.
See, if this was an easy decision, this is why you need that third option.
I mean, they didn't even try tonight.
Didn't. 35-29. That's when I clocked it. They're out. They checked out. It's way too early to check out. You're putting Bronny James in the game, +6. And then you give up 48 at the end of that.
0 points, 0 for 5 from the field.
Joe,
0 for 3.
DFS, Christie, and Bronny were 1 of 17 from the field tonight.
That's ridiculous. All I can say.
1 of 6, 1 of 6, 1 of 5, or 0 of 5. Excuse me.
The question is the reason we lost tonight not because of Bronny, Gutty, Maxey, and AD went out, and Vando was not back. Did we use all of our energy last night against Charlotte and decided not to show up tonight against Philly?
So
let's beat Charlotte and then lose.
It was basically a backdoor win last night.
You what exactly is the energy they're using when all these guys are 24, 25, and 26? AD is 31, and LeBron is the only geezer on this team. What exactly is the problem with a 24, 25, and 26-year-old playing on a back-to-back? Especially considering it was from Charlotte to Philly. They didn't go from Charlotte all the way to Denver
Right.
or all the way back to San Francisco. What is it?
Now maybe you plan to not play Vando anyway, but the fact that you didn't play him just adds more sauce to your point, Joe.
This team, their tactical decisions is like they're 40-10, or I should say 40-15. No, 40-5. They played 45 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how these assholes play. What gives them that thought? What allows them to do that?
I don't understand it. I don't. Not just from, just from a normal person perspective, but from an athletic perspective. Like, you're taught to be the best, try and be the best you can be, and to achieve that, sometimes you got to go beyond limits. But you reach your limits at one point, and then it's obvious to everybody that somehow, some way, you've checked out. Now, maybe not everybody checks out. Like, that's not what we're trying to say, Joe. But everybody checks out from being one. Like Ryle said in Showtime, you got to be tight. You got to be tight. And all it takes is 2 or 3 guys to have their mind wander and decide that, you know what, I don't need to give 100%. I can give 85 or 70, and we could still win.
It's interesting you brought up Riles. I feel like every few years I hear more and more information that comes out about the ending of Pat Riley in LA. 1990, the Lakers went 63-19 and ended up getting bounced by the Phoenix Suns in the second round. And a lot of talk, which started even before. Thank you, SGT Bones. Welcome. Please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you here, man. Mission, good to see you, brother. So certain players, except for Magic, in a weird way, certain players after game 2 of the 89 finals started to go the opposite way from Pat, because a lot of people thought that he ran them so much, Byron Scott and Magic ended up busting the tire. And when you look at game 2 and game 3, they were very close games. So people thought if they hadn't blown a tire, it's very possible that with Magic and Byron that the Lakers would end up winning those games. And I'm not going to argue against it. Unfortunately, I was too young to remember those series, but there's a lot of validity to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then 1990 hits and they get bounced out of the second round. And it's weird. I can't disagree, Sean, because it's something that was eerily similar to the Miami teams when he was coaching. I think it was 97. I remember Tim Hardaway said, we were spent as soon as they got to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Against the Bulls, yeah.
Right. Now, there was only one guy that wasn't complaining in 1990. That was Magic Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean in the end? That's what made Magic, right? That extra level, right? That's the difference, guys.
But see, Joe, and that can all be true, but it also means that there are guys who are willing to go with the flow when it comes to Riles. And usually that means steel toe boots and a lunchbox. Because you're going to work, if you're going to play for Riles. And some guys can dig that and some guys can't.
How old are you, Zach?
22. And also, I wanted to
Do you
say,
do you know Laker history at all? Are we speaking Swahili right now?
I hope not.
I remember, like, I wasn't around during it, but I remember learning about the
You were barely
Showtime.
around the Kobe thing.
Yeah, and
Actually, you
I
weren't.
learned about the Showtime.
Kobe and Shaq, I meant. Sorry, not Kobe thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
so there's a tuning out. So what we're talking about is there's a tuning out of the great ones, and this team hasn't even gotten to a point where they're even tuning out anything decent.
Mm-mm.
This is the leadership that this team has from top to bottom. Jeannie Buss is a horrid owner. Rob Pelinka is a disgusting general manager / whatever the hell his title is. And then you have JJ Redick, who tonight started going into the Darvin Ham bag of tricks in my book. Tonight was a bad night for JJ Redick, and he has no one to blame. By the way, get rid of that stupid mustache. That was absolutely one of the worst, if not the worst, coaching decisions I've seen in a very long time. I'll tell you when the last time I was just puzzled, and it was in an important game that ended up costing this team a title, and that was why the hell did Popovich take out Tim Duncan on that last possession in Game 6, the one that Chris Bosh was able to get the rebound and give it over to Ray Allen for the game-tying 3. Yes, folks, we remember.
And also, I wanted to ask a quick question again. Have you guys been seeing Joey's comments in the chat? Bronny deserves 35 minutes. Bronny should start against Murray.
Yeah, see, here's the problem. Here's a problem with that, Zach. See, we live in a nation where drugs are popular. And I'm not going to be sensitive to this because I'm not sensitive to it. So for those of you who are sensitive to drug talk, you might want to check out. When you do too much drugs, you usually get stupid. Now, some people go all the way stupid and don't return. Some stay stupid. Some can handle it and stay stupid, and that's what that sounds like. Don't do drugs, kids. Kids, no bueno. That's Spanish for no good. Don't do drugs. Now, if you're playing around, I get it. It's funny, and I made a comment on it. Bronny James, at this point, is a mascot on this team, and all those idiot morons in the stands that are cheering for him to score, you are why this asshole is on the court. Also, you should blame yourselves for allowing this. And I can't fathom I just can't register this thing. I just can't. You're in Philly. I mean, if I was a Philadelphia fan right now, I would have, honest to God, if I was a Sixers fan, I would have rode that entire Laker team from the stands. What the hell are you doing giving us the game by playing that schlep? Just put LeBron as the head coach / player. Hell, Bill Russell won 2 championships doing that in 1968, 1969. You might as well do it. You're not going to win a championship doing that, but you might as well do it. Why would you pay a coach for 5 years? For what? He's not even making the calls. What is this? The Dallas Cowboys? Time to go, folks. Time to go. Go somewhere else. Michael smoked cigars and drank beer. I don't think he ever smoked crack or meth. At least not that I know of. I'm not trying to play like I'm naive here, but I'm going to take a wild guess that Jordan didn't do narcotics. Maybe weed, sure, maybe, but I doubt anything else. But that's just
No, he
my.
wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't in Roy Tarpley territory. Or just you love cocaine more than you love the game of basketball.
And when it comes to
And you're really good at basketball. Like you're really good at basketball. You took the Lakers to a game 7.
okay, here, hold on. Let's see who's this? Is this Chili? I hate this double click and update shit that Gerald has on here.
A la Chelina.
Chelina. Okay, so sorry, Sean. I'm gonna move you up here real quick.
A la Chelina.
Oh, I can't move you up. Hold on. Move you up this way. Oh, I can't. You guys are too. You guys low ride when you're doing the show. Hold on. Hold on.
Joe.
Hold on. I'm gonna get this
Joe.
out of here. JJ Redick said he went to Bronny James late in the first quarter to try to provide energy for the group. He didn't play well. No shit, asshole. He doesn't play well. He can't play well. Energy from what? Somebody asked him that question and didn't retort with, what the hell does that even mean? He can't play.
Energy. I remember, he racked up a lot of wins, but I remember like Mike D'Antoni used to use that language a lot. If the ball finds energy, it's like these buzzwords that dumb people use to sound important, Joe.
I want to. We probably wouldn't say anything.
I don't mean to call him dumb, but
okay, we're not calling anybody dumb. Their decision making is dumb.
That was a dumb decision.
And I want to know why. What do you mean energy from what?
So you acknowledge that he didn't play well. So that means you made a bad coaching decision.
Why is that guy on the roster?
Like there are a couple of guys playing in the G League right now who could help us out, but we can't sign anybody because we used one of our picks on him, and we gave a bunch of two-ways to guys that really don't have a shot to make it. But now you have the opportunity, if you do something that is kind of a hard decision, but I do it anyway, and that's release.
Look, here's the deal. There are players that are horrible.
Cut bait.
There are horrible players in the NBA that can't play. We have a couple of them. One of them is Jackson Hayes. The reason why he's still on the team is because he's 7 feet tall. And he can catch a couple alley-oops here and there. And he's cheap. It's a size thing at that point.
Joe's correct. Vitaly Polypenko, Mohamed Sene, and Robert Swift.
Don't forget Dari, rest in peace.
21 feet of useless center there. Still all got paid.
Right? Because they had size, right? So there's some
Polypenko even got paid.
There's some logic to that. There's size. Maybe you can use them somewhere, right? I don't know. This guy's 6 feet tall, has no lateral speed, can't dribble, can't shoot, can't play defense. What the hell is going on? What do you mean energy from what? You need talent in the NBA if you're going to have energy. It's a question I'm going to ask all night. I can't keep asking this question. So now let's get past this because I don't want to keep repeating everything over and over again. We have a big crew watching here. Everyone out there, please, if it's the first time you've been here, like and subscribe. You're going to get more material here as the days go because it looks like something's starting here, Sean. I have a very good feeling that he's not going to be back for the Washington game because they're going to want to save him up for New York. You asked a good question, and I'm going to connect that to Zach. Zach, do you think that the Lakers can beat the Wiz without AD?
If we know how to play defense without him, yes. If we play like how we did tonight and put Bronny in like with like 6 minutes to go in like the first, no. But if we know how to play defense, we could beat them and like rest him, because I think we should rest him, because New York is, what are they now, like 32-17?
Mhm.
So we're gonna need like everyone like healthy so we can like try and like compete with them, because Madison Square Garden, like
31
you
and 16.
mentioned,
Yeah.
right, is not easy to go into Madison and play. So I think we should rest AD, but if like we are like, I think we should still put him in the uniform Thursday, like not like make him like say you're gonna be out because of resting. We should like put him in uniform, and like if we started him, great, but if he's off the bench and like we're down like 10, put him in there. But if we're up like 30 or whatever against them, which is what we should be against them, because they're one of the worst franchises ever, I don't think we should play him and rest him for Saturday against a really hot Knicks team that has won a lot of games.
YYC. Are we living in the past now? So that win against the Celtics you just hit par now. Actually, I'm sorry, it's a bogey. Sean, you're on mute. Go ahead.
It's been, as the CAA calls it, Joe, neutralized.
Yes, they neutralized that win against the Celtics by playing like dog shit tonight and making dog shit decisions and having no heart and no leadership to fight through a team that didn't have their MVP and their second best player. If this was Embiid and Paul George playing in this game, we wouldn't be this upset. And I guarantee you that no talent wouldn't have been in the game. But these guys are so arrogant and so into themselves. This is what they did. They were competing in the first quarter, and then they put him in there. Why? You're not 40-5, assholes. You can't just lose this game. You were fortunate yesterday playing like dog shit to come out of there with a win, and everybody lost that was ahead of you that's close within a game or two. You just shit on that. There's no excuse. Sorry, no excuse. I don't know.
Dog. There is no excuse for dog shit. That's why it's called dog shit.
So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna try to scale out of this a little bit because my head is starting to hurt.
You get a tension headache from all this.
It really started
foolery.
The two headaches I've had in the last 9 months. One was when I heard that fucker's name at the draft, and then today in the first quarter. Folks, the little things will tell you. The little things will tell you. You have to pay attention to the little things. They matter. A lot of people make this mistake in the real world when they choose their friends, when they choose where to work, and worse, who they decide to shack up with legally. The reason why there's so many separations in that world is because people don't look at the details. Why were we pissed off? Joe, it's just a 55 pick. Joe, it's just this. Joe, it's just that. Joe, you just put this motherfucker in a first quarter in a game that mattered. Don't fucking tell me again that I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't give a shit if you bring Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the show and he tells me I'm a clown. Clown? Cap? The video is right there. I'm just commentating. I'm just telling you what's going on. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do on whether I know how to run the triangle with my eyes closed. It's common sense. And like, I'm sitting with JJ Redick, and I hear the word, we needed energy. You want to get energy from a guy who can't play?
A G leaguer.
He's not even a G leaguer to me. I don't give a shit if he scores 50 a game. I don't give a shit. Means nothing. Energy. Wow. I didn't even expect that. I gotta tell you, I don't know. I'm bumbling and stumbling all over the place here. So now we await the abdominal stretch, the abdominal, whatever the hell is going on with AD now. And we have to cross our fingers and hope that he plays in a couple days. All so that we can wait for them to play New York next on a Saturday, in which they suck ass usually on a Saturday. Because I don't know, what are they too busy going out and playing with their dinglings in New York on Saturdays? I don't know what the hell they do. Most of these guys are married, aren't they? Or the young guys are whatever.
Yeah, but the problem is that when the Knicks are kind of rolling like this, every once in a while they get to flex a schedule when they feel the need to. Didn't happen this time, but look at it this way. You're 25 years old and you're in New York City and you got all Friday night by yourself because the game ain't till Saturday night. It's kind of like the Vegas hangover in the NHL. It just seems like every team that goes to Vegas ends up having a good time until it's game time, and then is bag skate for the next week.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Of course.
Why Vegas played so well in their inaugural year?
Mm-hmm.
They do get messed up, right? The LA, Miami. So,
yes,
folks, just so you understand, why
there's an inherent advantage if you know how to use it.
I'm gonna tell you guys about 3 other areas. Remember how I told you guys, a lot of you regulars, for the new guys, you new girls, you're gonna learn something today. Okay, folks, I've been watching Laker games for a very long time, and there was a moment for about a decade where I didn't miss one game. That was the day after Kwame got traded, and then finally I broke in the 2017 season when the losing just got to my stomach. I couldn't handle it anymore. So, why do the Lakers always struggle in Miami, Orlando, and Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
So Orlando is pretty much the number one destination for a lot of tourists, because all the man children and women children that love Disney all go there all year, like 20, 40 million people, right? Of course, Miami, we know why in Miami. We don't need to talk about that one. And Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Why Atlanta? A lot of weird stuff goes on in Atlanta. Talk to people that you know from Atlanta; they'll tell you. Why is that always a distraction?
Because Atlanta is considered the Vegas of the South.
So, distractions. That's what those places are. And this team is distracted by mediocrity. They've celebrated it. They've accepted it. They're embracing it. And then the coach, who's supposed to be this, what did he say at his press conference? Don't fuck with me, or don't fuck around, or don't. He said something with the F word, right?
Yeah.
And then he pulls what out of his ass tonight? Bring energy. He pulled energy out of his ass on that one.
And dumb fuckery out of his brain.
Hey, there's a reason why Kobe said, fuck this guy. You know what my theory on that is, Sean?
What?
Why would he say fuck JJ Redick? Kobe was close with Mike Krzyzewski, right? He would have known.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think Coach K said about Mr. JJ Redick? There's 2 things that he could have said. He could have said that this guy is money, Kobe, to piss him off, knowing how Kobe would react.
Yes.
Or maybe Coach K told him, he's a good college player.
I think
But he's got the
both are
gift of
true.
gab, right?
I think both are true. Yeah, it's just interesting to me. See, JJ Redick played at Duke pre-smartphone, ladies and gentlemen, pre-smartphone. If JJ Redick had played at Duke post-smartphone, Joe, he would have been more revolted as a Dookie than Christian Leitner was. It would have been I hate JJ Redick.
They hated him there anyways.
Yeah. His own people.
So why is that? Why do people not like JJ Redick? Because he says what's on his mind? Because I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot about people. Oh, he tells it how it is. Hell, they say that about me. And I'm always wondering about that. I'm like, what does that even mean? Oh, Joe tells people what he thinks. But the question I have for you guys is, if I'm in a certain setting, do I switch? Because it looks like JJ did. Do you all think I would have taken the Laker job being who I am?
No.
No. And I love the Lakers, right?
Yes.
It's the same concept with the Dallas Cowboys. Joe, there's only 32 jobs in the world in the NFL. You got to take that job. No, I don't. I don't got to take shit.
I could choose not to.
Why? If Mike Krzyzewski said no to the Lakers, why can't I? Right? Mike Krzyzewski, man. And not only that, you had Kobe battling to get you over there. Folks.
I don't think they'll ever offer another coach because they've been spurned twice.
It's not going to work, guys. Most of the people that you think are about it are not. They're just not. And society accepts the fakeness. Just like when you go on to all these social media sites. See, I have to be on Facebook. I have to be on Instagram. And to some degree, I have to be on Twitter, X. Because, well, maybe not so much X. I'm not really on there, but I'll get messages every now and then, and that's okay. It's another outlet to come, to connect with me. But Instagram and Facebook are huge business. That's why my Instagram is Sinblades Turf, and my Facebook was the conception of my secondary business, where I get a lot of sales of the product. So I'm always on there, and I'm also referring people to people I know that are on Facebook that have businesses, right? So I'm forced to see a lot of this trash. I don't own Snapchat. I don't own TikTok. I don't own any of those ones, right? Because I can't. I can't watch that shit. But I'm seeing this shit on Instagram. I'm seeing this shit on Facebook. The amount of filters on these stupid people and the amount of fake shit on there. You've accepted it, folks, so that you can have your dopamine light going up. You all know what that is. The addiction to the dopamine.
The thumb orgasm.
Okay, right? Thank you, Sean. Thank you. This is why you're my boy for life. So many other people would have taken that a whole different area, but you saw the fucking thing I was doing here. Thank you. I appreciate that. What is it, folks? What is it about fake shit? When you watch a movie, when you play a video game, you already know it's fake. That's okay. You want to live in a fantasy in those things? That's what those are for. This is not fantasy. Those people that are telling you to go lose weight, folks, look at me. Look what I drink. I'm drinking this wheat germ with green shit, and I have 4% body fat, and forget that they're putting enough tren in their body to turn into a freaking light bulb.
I inject Ozempic and eat whatever I want.
Yeah,
and I've
sure you
lost
do.
50 pounds.
Yeah, you turn into Casper the Friendly Ghost, too. Guys, folks, fake. It's like the Matrix thing. It's not real.
Let's not go there. Let's could spend hours on that one. Let's not go there. And my God,
Hold on. Someone's talking shit. Hold on.
the second one was just
Pro sports are fake games. Storm Team. What was the other one? Joe and his
Scarlet-
tirades yawn. So
yeah.
Scarlet and Blue is here. Talking
How
shit.
does this relate to the Lakers?
Hold on.
That's a great question.
Hold on,
Joe.
that's okay. We'll give him a
Well,
little
no, that's
bit
what
of...
he's saying. That's what
I've been waiting for Scarlet and Blue. So what did Scarlet and Blue say the last time that we clowned them? You remember, Gerald?
Oh, but he likes the Dodgers.
I know.
Okay.
That's fine. There's plenty of scumbags that like the Dodgers too. They usually fuck people up in the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
I just because those guys are Dodger fans doesn't make them friends of mine.
Right.
So Scarlet, why are you yawning? Am I not entertaining enough?
Mayu's asking if Mayu's asking you and I, Joe, Bronny is one of the best defenders, and I will say, as we saw tonight, he is not even close. He's not in the zip code of the best defenders. He's not in the same state. He's not in probably not even the same continent as the best defenders. Mayu. So yes, he was awful tonight. Bringing him in was a
I don't know if
mistake.
it's a he or a she. They put a question mark there.
Well, she's in there. Okay.
I'm wrong, Burgundy. Is that the question?
He is. No, the profile has a picture on YouTube of her as a girl. So I'm going to say,
Mayu,
Mayu-
are you a female? Because I don't want to say he if it's a female.
well, again, Mayu's been here a while now, so I truly appreciate her coming back and saying that no, he's a terrible defender, as we saw. His marquee went, as far as him getting in the league was supposed to be on defense. And we saw tonight, Maxey, as soon as he came in, Maxey says, I got a rookie on me. And we saw him take him to town 3 straight times. Yes. She said, yes, Asian female.
Good. Welcome. And I understand that was a question because I know I didn't say the comment. So I don't know if she was talking to somebody else. Maybe she was talking.
Well, she was saying it to you and I. Is that correct? And like trying to lead us in if that's the case. And I'm going to disagree with Mayu on that. So I'd say that no, he is not a good defender at this point in time. A good NBA defender at least. In fact, he's not an NBA player at all. I mean, Joe, there's a big leap between the G League and the NBA, and we see some players that do well in the G League. They can translate. Cam Whitmore. Wherever he goes down to the G League, he has come back and he's played very well for the Houston Rockets coming off the bench for them. So there is a translation there. But with Ronnie, for every 30-point game he gets, it's just not translating when he gets to the big club, Joe.
Gerald, there's a gap on the roster. The NBA is extremely difficult. We've talked about the separation between bad 11th, 12th guy, 6, 7, 8, and then the star, and then the big star, and then LeBron and Steph Curry, right? Those gaps are so huge. It's not an easy game, man. You're talking about guys that can do things with a basketball that it's just very few people can do it. And the thing is,
did you notice JJ answered the questions on Bronny James? I don't know if you saw my quotes I posted there while I was waiting for dinner tonight. Did you see that?
Well, I know that the Chilean, is it the Chilean person, the NBA a la, is it Chilean? I can't read shit.
A la Chilena.
That's why I opened up. That's why I opened up a separate tab on YouTube.
He or she's been doing the kind of reiterating his answers to these questions. So the last one was that he felt he wanted to put him in a tough position.
Yes.
He was flown up on such short notice. What the fuck are they doing flying him in to do what? To do what? Your team is all 25-year-olds in between 24, 25, 27. What are you flying him in for? For what? What he was? What is he? The hitman? He's your guy that you fly in to go play against Tyrese Maxey. Oh my God! If I was Tyrese Maxey, I would have died in the press conference after the game. I would have died. I was like, look, as soon as I saw they flew in LeBron Jr. in, I said, I'm gonna have a career night, or at least close to one.
Sean, in honor of Search and Destroy, his theory is correct. We do have a larger audience because we lost tonight. I'm just going to let that. I said it in the chat earlier. Search and Destroy, we miss you. We love you, brother. Robert Wheeler has a question for you, Joe. And Zach, we know you're here too, my friend. Truly appreciate you hanging with us. Don't forget Zachary's channels too. Lakers Live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And before I get to Magic Man's screen, Robert said, Joe, AD getting injured was devastating.
Sorry, I had to see it.
That's what Joe thinks about Bronny James playing on the Lakers.
Thank you. This is right here.
Yes.
Right there.
Yes. Robert Wheeler's asking, getting injured. Sorry, Robert. 5-1 does not look good right now. AD getting injured was devastating. However, do you think a benefit from this will now be Dalton can freely shoot and go back to averaging 20 points per game like he did tonight? He did get 24, but as Sean and I noted, it is in his favorite time of the game, garbage time. He did get 13 in the first half, but he does score well when the game is not on the line. Your thoughts on what Robert Wheeler was saying tonight? If AD is out for an extended period of time, I have a feeling he'll at least be out for Washington.
I'm going to answer CJ's question real quick. CJ, lately it's been terrible. It was good a few years back when you had guys like, did Austin play? He played in his first year. He played in the G League a little bit, right? For South Bay?
They all play. Yeah, I think they play.
And then Caruso did. There was some positive there, but Caruso
got G League with two different teams. Remember, he was with another team in their G League system before.
The Thunder.
The Thunder.
The Oklahoma City Blue, I think they're called.
Yeah, the irony in that, who did he ultimately get an extension with just this year? But the South Bay Lakers, as far as the developmental program, it's still not obviously at
the last two real jewels were Zubats and Caruso, and that we're going back 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
I mean, the standings right now. What is the G League? South Bay Lakers are 2-7. Is that correct?
You could throw Austin in there, sure.
Their record is 2-7 right now, according to GLeague.NBA. So if that's the case, yeah, it's 2-7. It might be actually different. I don't know if it's been updated yet, but yeah, it's 2-7. So I think that speaks volumes on exactly what kind of coaching job is being done there. But I'll just say this again. You can't if you really are a winning team with a winning mentality that wants to go far in the playoffs, you can't have lapses like this. You can't make mistakes as a coach like this and bring in a player like Bronny
and look,
start
Gerald,
that down.
You really, and since he said that, it's imperative and it's incumbent. I know there's two big words there for JJ to walk into his GM's office and say, we cannot go into the playoffs with Jackson Hayes as my backup center.
Yeah.
That is untenable.
You got an early out on you. Yeah. You got an early out on
we
you.
will lose in the first round. If he is my backup center, I will lose all the minutes that I have to play him, which in the playoffs, I know a lot of people.
You're going to have to play AD 40. You're going to have to play AD 40.
So, 8 minutes is a lot, Gerald, in the playoffs. We know a lot can swing in 8 minutes, and you're going to lose all 8 minutes
today.
With Jackson Hayes out there. So that is one situation and Bronny that needs to be addressed.
Yep.
And I know, Gerald, I know Rob and Jeannie are kind of stingy with spending a little bit of coin, but in this case, I don't think it would take much convincing for them to realize that you need to address that situation because he's got 8 days, right? It's 8 days until the trade deadline.
Yep, I agree, and I agree with you. Very well said, Sean. But Joe, your thoughts on Dalton? Again, he didn't play with any force on the defensive end, and actually was embarrassingly got that ball ripped away from him on that putback, and that tells you all you need to know about the kind of things he needs to work on with force and strength. But he can shoot and fill it up, and he's been playing a little bit better lately. So I don't know. Do you give him more time, Joe? Because today, really the way they allocated him, as Sean and I were talking about during our playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, was that okay? They don't use him at all in the first quarter. They bring him in the second when things are starting to fall apart, and then they brought him in at late in the third quarter when things were falling apart even more.
You can't play him unless he's got an anchor behind him in AD. And Jackson Hayes has regressed from last year. He had a decent, in terms of his talents. He had a decent year last year as a backup, but he's absolutely floundered this year. So it's a no go there with him. Koloko is not another guy that's really not an NBA player. The Lakers have no backup bigs at all. And I don't know what the hell happened to Vando. Anybody tell me what happened with Vando? Why the hell was he not playing?
Back to back,
looking like an ice cream, looking like a chocolate ice cream cone today.
Yeah, he just came back from injury, so they were just being cautious because of the back to back because of
cautious, huh? So a year off is not enough.
No, nope.
Soft ass bitches. All of them. Soft. All that money, all that therapy, all that psychiatry, all the amenities, all that shit for what? And you're still soft? Yeah.
Zach, let me bring you in here. Thank you again for your patience. Truly appreciate it. Again, Lakers Live. Hopefully you'll like and subscribe to his channels that are out there. Truly appreciate you adding your channels on to our Lakers Fast Break live post game. Welcome again to all of viewers there. Let me just ask you this: where do the Lakers go from here? Washington, with or without AD? And I'm assuming it's without AD at this point. Should still be win, but then again, we thought that would have been the case today. Where does this team go from here? It had every advantage in the world to go ahead and gain some ground in the Western Conference on this road trip, and now it's looking like maybe that won't work out such as after all.
Hopefully, we can beat Washington and then fly to Madison Square Garden and hopefully be able to not only beat them. It'd be amazing if we beat them. I'm guessing all four of us would be happy if we beat New York in Madison Square Garden. But hopefully we can keep close with them. If we do what we did against Boston against them, I'll be so happy. But that's probably not going to happen because Boston and the Knicks are two different teams. I just hope we can be able to keep up with New York, not get destroyed like how the Nets got destroyed by the Clippers, whatever that score was, when they beat them by 59, whatever that score was, and then the next few days we beat them by 2. Do you remember the score difference, any of you three, when the Clippers and Nets played?
That was 659, if I'm not mistaken. Then the Lakers only beat them by 1 on the last the D'Lo shot that missed.
Yeah.
Joey's in there as well in the chat. He says the Boston game was a fluke. So I'll turn to you, Zach. Was the Boston game a fluke after what we did today? Again, we had said before after the Boston game, if the Lakers didn't finish the job by winning the games they needed to win, then the Boston game, it nullifies what they did in the Boston game. Zach.
I don't really say any of our games were a fluke except the Pistons one because the Pistons, in my opinion, are just like Washington, one of the worst teams that has ever played professional basketball since like the 2000s. Like their records, like I don't know what it is, but like it's terrible. So we should have beat them. So in my opinion, when we beat good teams like Boston, no, it's not a fluke. Like, so what? We lose to Philadelphia. Like, yes, it hurts that we lost to them. Like, we want to win every game we can, especially against losing record teams. But no, no games are a fluke in my opinion, other than ones that we should have destroyed them, like the Pistons, Wizards, etc.
Joe, I think we lost Magic Man. Hopefully, we can get him back. But it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do lose 118 to 104. The Lakers fall to 26 and 19. They're still in fifth place in the Western Conference. But Joe, again, we get a lot of flack, you and I, because we come on here, we tell people our thoughts. Stone yesterday, he had to put almost an asterisk on everything because people were like, just like, really? How can you say that the Lakers have no chance? And he's saying the Lakers have no chance. And people are like, how can you say that? How can you say that? You and I get stuff all week long in the comments, both before, during, and after the show on what they feel is right or wrong with the Lakers or right or wrong with what we say. But then they pull off games like this where they truly have to win. These are the no-brainers. When you don't have two of the three players that are on there that make up the triumvirate of the 76ers, you have to win this game. And they didn't get it done. That's what the big teams do. That's what the good teams do, Joe. And tonight, I think, proved to everyone out there that the Lakers are just not at that level. When we say they're just not on that level, this is exactly what we mean.
It's okay. Don't worry about it, Gerald. They'll make the playoffs. They'll make the 6th seed. Let's say they make the 6th seed, and then in the summer after they lose in the first round, people are like, we made it in the playoffs without the play-in. We had that discussion for a year. Hey, we made it to the Western Conference Finals. Yay. Yay. The LA Lakers. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody turned into Jim Irsay. Everybody's like, who the hell is Jim Irsay? Folks, Jim Irsay is the owner of the Indianapolis Colts NFL team, in case some of you don't watch the NFL. When Andrew Luck and his poor body and mind took a scrap of lard and shit to the AFC title game and got waxed by the Patriots. This is back in 2016. He put a banner, mind you, Baltimore/Indianapolis has won 2 Super Bowls in their history and NFL titles before the Super Bowl. This idiot put a AFC championship finalist banner in his dome, in his stadium. That's what a lot of you have turned into. Yes, scarlet and blue. I'm talking to you. That's who you are. I want you to know that. I want you to feel that. I want you to accept it. Because that's who you are. That's what I think of you. And that's what I know of you. So for the new Laker fans or the new feel-good guys or the ones that are buying Bronny James jerseys, you have accepted trash. Just go to your trash, the one that's on the side of your house or apartment or whatever, and just go in it. Just dive in it. That's what you've accepted. Because it's obvious that this team has. Sorry, I got to get better at that, Gerald. What else? What else do you want me to say? You guys want me to get all happy after they win a few games? Okay, yeah, I do. Hey, they're playing well. Yay, we have a chance. But even when I'm doing that, there's always this little thing going. Joe, I know you got to do a show, and I know you can't just dread all day. But be careful. Be careful. And tonight, pie in our face. So what do I have to look forward to, Gerald? Geez.
Mediocrity?
The acceptance of mediocrity. And then that's where this team is going, folks. Yeah, well, we'll talk nice about them playing maybe Washington if they win. Maybe they'll steal a game in the next few games too. Maybe they win in New York. What do you think? What if they win in New York? Let's say they win in New York. AD comes back, he has a great game, and they win in New York. What do you think is going to happen in here? Guys, we're going to get the 3rd seed, and Max Christie's going to make the all-defensive team next year. He's really, 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 really going to be good. John, what am I surprised about? I'm doing it for you, Scarlet and Blue. I'm doing it for you. I'm talking slow so you can understand.
Mm-hmm.
I've already gone loud on my rants. Now I want to put you to sleep. I did it for you. I hope you enjoy it. I hope everyone enjoys it.
Robert says, Gerald,
I'm talking the way the Lakers are playing right now.
Gerald, Robert says, Gerald, that's why I thought the Lakers would lose. No, there's no excuse, Robert. You're the eternal optimist. You cannot think the Lakers will lose. You're supposed to think that they'll win. Even when Joe and I don't think that the team is supposed to win, you are supposed to think, as the eternal optimist that you are, or as we perceived yourself to be, that they are supposed to win under any circumstances. You called them out for a 5-1 road trip under any circumstances. Yeah, they lost AD, but LeBron and, you cannot get subpar games from Reeves, Rui, DFS didn't show up. Max Christie didn't show up. There's a whole host of players who did not show up tonight when AD went out of the ballgame. And on top of that, they made the absolute dumbest decision JD did probably the entire season. He has made a lot of mistakes, but that's a rookie thing, a rookie coach this season. His biggest coaching mistake was bringing in Bronny this evening when he did. Absolutely an asinine, stupid decision. And the Lakers paid price for it. And okay, anybody who's throwing out the excuses for it, sorry, it's not falling here. Okay, they had every opportunity to go ahead and win against a team that did not have 2 of their best 3 players on the game. And you guys were saying, "Oh, when AD went out," no, Robert, you cannot go and blast us all the time with some very good questions, I might add. But you cannot say what you say to us and then all of a sudden turn around and say, "Well, I didn't think the Lakers are going to win the game." You are supposed to be the optimist under any circumstances for the Lakers. And in doing so, they have got to go ahead and win games like these. You remember, you were the guy that said the Lakers were so dominant against sub 500 teams, which they are. But unfortunately, all that went by the wayside tonight. You have to win these games if you're a good team. If you're a team that is destined to be at the top of the heap or in the mix for a championship. And if you don't, then these are the games that we talk about. This one, the Atlanta game, the Orlando game, all those games that we pulled up an egg on, or at the last minute, or throughout. These are the games that we talk about that they should have won, and that could have put themselves in a better position. So at the end of the year, when the Lakers are not as high up as you guys want them to be, you can only look to games like this, where the team was outcoached and the team was outplayed. Yes, they were on a back-to-back, but still, you got to get the job done when you don't have Embiid or Paul George in there. That's 45 points plus out of their lineup tonight. It doesn't matter if AD was not there or not. You still have to get the job done, and they did. Simple as that.
So let's look at the age of the roster real quick. I think we've run it before, but let's talk about that. You're all talking about the back-to-back games. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet and shit, you ready? Max Christie, 21. Rui Hachimura, 26. Jackson Hayes, 24. Dalton Connect, 23. I'm obviously going to name the guys that played. Cam Reddish played, right? 25. I don't see anybody in there that's old. Christian Coloco, 24. That's a lot of players that played tonight. Dorian Finney-Smith, 31. I forgot he's a little older than D'Angelo Russell. Dorian Finney-Smith, Anthony Davis, two bigs, right, Gerald?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, for those of you, we've talked about this as well. A big, basically a guy that could play power forward, center, a big. Their prime, a big's prime is 28 to 32. Like prime, like Muhammad Ali in the late 60s, early 70s prime. Floyd Mayweather in the early 2000s prime. Like when they're so good, it's amazing, not just good. And you're telling me, and oh, by the way, these guys are getting paid how much money? 8, 9, 15, 50. They can't play on a back-to-back? How long was the flight from Charlotte to Philly? Hour? What was the matter? Oh, did they get jet lag, Gerald?
Must have.
Zach, were they tired, Zach? Oh, poor babies. So all that massaging on the flight over there, it didn't work? Oh, I'm so sad for them. You know what? Maybe they should have just said, you know what, guys, it's a back-to-back. Let's just start Shake Milton tonight for Austin Reeves. Why even give it a shot? Maybe he would have given him the energy, right? He played, right?
Yes, at the end.
I mean, I don't know. I couldn't tell if he played. He had the same amount of points as I did. Just saying. Oh, Joe, you think it's easy because you're on the couch. I wasn't on the couch. I was on my left seat. Yeah. Okay. Scarlett, you've been here for how many minutes? An hour?
Well,
you're free to
overall
go.
his time.
I'm going to bore the hell out of you the rest of the night.
Well, on that note, I would just stop by so I could go ahead and share my thoughts because I was really frustrated as well on the drive home, and I appreciate you allowing me to do so, Joe. Looks like Sean is probably not coming back, but I will let you and Zach close out the show.
Well, folks, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Sorry for the game tonight. That's the only thing I can apologize for, even though I had nothing to do with it. But for those of you who want to contact me, except for Scarlett and whatever his name is, you can contact me on Facebook. I'm known as Johnny Blade. And you'll see a Dodger World Order logo this time on my Facebook. Message me if you have any questions, comments. You want to reach me on Instagram. I'm at Sinblades _turf on Instagram if you want to send me a message there as well. And then I do have my name on X, which is Joe Soro LFB. We will be back likely tomorrow to discuss what might happen on Saturday. Or no, wait, Thursday. See, I'm getting ahead of myself already. Thursday against the Washington Wizards. Question I have for all of you, and it's been asked on here, so that's a good thing. Do the Lakers put Bronny James on Jordan Poole? We'll have a poll for Poole on the next show. And Zachary, you want to put your handles and stuff on so people can call you, hit you up? What's up? I can't hear you.
I think he just did, Joe. He put it in the chat. He put it all in the chat.
Good. All right, folks. So we are going to check out, check in, go out, and until next time, we'll see you next time.